I am 103 years old, and before my voice becomes just a memory inside time, I want to tell you something important. You see, most people think living long is about genetics or luck. But I have lived long enough to believe something very different. Living long is not about how strong your body is. It is about how gently you treat your life every single day. When I was young, I thought life was about rushing toward success. I believed happiness was waiting somewhere in the future. You know, like a destination you reach after working hard enough. I spent many years chasing that idea. I worked hard. I worried about money. I worried about what people thought about me. I worried about tomorrow before tomorrow even arrived. But worry does not protect you from life's problems. It only steals peace from today. I learned this slowly, over many decades. Life taught me lessons in quiet ways. Not through big dramatic moments, but through small everyday experiences. Like watching sunlight move across my bedroom wall every morning. Like listening to birds outside my window while drinking warm tea slowly. These small moments kept me grounded when life felt heavy. When I reached my 60s, doctors started giving me many different instructions. Some told me to change my diet completely. Others told me to exercise more aggressively. Some said I should rest more. Others said I should stay active constantly. I felt confused listening to all this advice. So I stopped following trends. I started listening to my own body instead. When I felt tired, I rested without feeling guilty. When I felt energetic, I walked outside and enjoyed fresh air. Not fast walking, just slow walking. Like I was having a conversation with the world around me. You know, people today move very fast. They wake up and immediately start checking their phones. Messages. Social media. News. Work emails. Their minds never get time to wake up peacefully. But I believe mornings should be soft. Calm. Quiet. Like slowly opening your eyes to a new world instead of jumping into chaos immediately. I remember my childhood very clearly. Life was slower then. We did not have many distractions. We talked more with our families. We spent more time sitting together after dinner, sharing stories about our day. Those moments built emotional strength inside me. Strength is not always about physical power. Sometimes strength is emotional stability. At 30 years old, I almost forgot this lesson. I became obsessed with productivity. I thought success meant being busy all the time, working harder than everyone else, proving my value through effort. But my body started warning me. I became tired constantly. My sleep became weak. My mind felt noisy. That was when I realized something important. Success without peace is not real success. Real success is being able to sleep peacefully at night knowing you tried your best but also allowed yourself to live. I lost many people in my life. Friends. Family members. My husband passed away when I was 68 years old. That was one of the hardest years of my life. I remember sitting alone near my window at night, watching streetlights turn on slowly one by one like small stars appearing in the city darkness. Grief is strange. It does not leave quickly. It stays with you quietly, like a soft shadow following you wherever you go. But grief also teaches gratitude. After losing people I loved, I started appreciating small memories more. The sound of laughter, the warmth of hugs, the feeling of being remembered by someone. Loneliness is not always bad. Sometimes loneliness helps you understand yourself better. When you sit quietly with your own thoughts, you start understanding what you truly want from life. At 70 years old, I made another important decision. I decided to focus more on peace than achievement. I started spending more time in nature, walking in parks, watching trees move slowly in wind, feeling sunlight on my skin. Nature has healing power. It does not rush you. It does not judge you. Nature just exists peacefully and allows you to exist with it. Now at 103 years old, my body is slower. My steps are smaller. My hands move carefully when I hold things. But my mind feels peaceful. Like a quiet lake without strong waves disturbing its surface. If I could give young people one piece of advice, I would say this. Do not wait for life to become perfect before you start living it. Many people think they will start enjoying life after they earn more money or after they achieve some goal. But life does not wait for perfect conditions. Life happens in imperfect moments. Enjoy small things. Drink water slowly. Talk kindly to people. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Because you are human. Not a machine designed to perform perfectly every day. I have lived through many changes in the world. Technology changed everything. Communication changed. Work culture changed. But human emotions never changed. People still want love. People still want respect. People still want someone to remember them. That is why I believe kindness is one of the most powerful things you can practice if you want a long and meaningful life. When you live to be 103, you start seeing patterns. You notice that people are not destroyed by one big tragedy most of the time. They are slowly worn down by daily stress, daily comparison, daily pressure to be something more than what they already are. And that is what worries me about this generation. Not weakness. Not lack of intelligence. But constant pressure. I have watched the world speed up every decade. When I was young, letters took days to arrive. News traveled slowly. People had time to process emotions. Now everything happens instantly. Reactions are immediate. Expectations are higher. And somehow, even with more comfort, people seem more restless. Restlessness is exhausting. I think peace is the real wealth. Not money. Not status. Not recognition. Peace. There were years when I did not have much money. Years when I worried about bills. Years when life felt uncertain. But even in those years, I found small islands of calm. A cup of tea in silence. A walk at sunset. A quiet prayer before sleeping. Those small rituals protected me more than any medicine ever could. Doctors still ask me what I did differently. They check my heart. They check my blood. They study my habits. But they cannot measure one thing. They cannot measure how lightly I decided to carry life. At some point, I stopped trying to control everything. I stopped fighting every inconvenience. If it rained, I accepted the rain. If plans changed, I adjusted. If people disappointed me, I forgave them quietly and moved forward. Holding anger for decades is heavy. And heavy hearts age faster. I chose to let things go. That does not mean I never felt pain. Of course I did. I cried. I lost sleep. I questioned life. But I did not stay there forever. I allowed emotions to pass through me instead of building a permanent home inside me. That makes a difference. At 80 years old, I remember thinking, well, maybe this is the final chapter. But then 90 came. Then 100. And now 103. Longevity is strange. The longer you live, the more you realize how temporary everything is. Arguments that once felt huge now seem small. Goals that once felt urgent now feel unnecessary. What remains important are simple things. Did you love honestly? Did you forgive quickly? Did you allow yourself to rest? I sometimes sit quietly in the afternoon and watch light move across the floor. The same way I did decades ago. And I feel grateful. Not because my life was perfect. It was not. I made mistakes. I trusted the wrong people sometimes. I worried too much in certain seasons. But I always returned to simplicity. That is the word I want you to remember. Simplicity. Eat food that your grandmother would recognize. Sleep when your body asks for sleep. Move your body gently every day. Speak kindly, especially when you are angry. And most importantly, stop postponing joy. People postpone joy as if it is a meeting they can reschedule. I will relax after this project. I will enjoy life after I retire. I will travel after I save more money. But tomorrow is not guaranteed. I have seen healthy people disappear suddenly. I have seen strong people fall unexpectedly. Life is delicate. If you are breathing today, that is already a gift. At 1:03, I do not wake up thinking about how many years I have left. I wake up thinking about how beautiful it is to still be here. To still feel sunlight. To still hear laughter outside. To still have memories visiting me like old friends. And if I could sit across from you right now, hold your hands gently, and tell you one final thing, it would be this. Do not rush your life away. You do not need to prove your worth every second. You do not need to compete with strangers online. You do not need to exhaust yourself chasing approval. You are already enough. Take a deep breath tonight. Slow down your thoughts. Turn off the noise for a while. Sit in silence without fear. You might discover that peace was always available. You just never gave yourself permission to feel it. I am 103 years old. And maybe doctors cannot explain why I lived this long. But I can. I lived slowly. I forgave quickly. I loved deeply. And I refused to let stress become my permanent companion. That is all. Time moves quietly. One day you will look in the mirror and see years reflected back at you. When that day comes, I hope you can smile gently and say, I truly lived. Because life is not about how long you stay. It is about how softly and fully you experience the days you are given. And trust me, they pass faster than you think.